Hey guys, it's Silver Snorlax, and I am back with PSA Returns round 34. This is part 5, and I will make it the finale part for this particular round. We still have, I want to say, just shy of 100 cards left to go on Brit's order here. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to finish these off. I'm going to kind of do what I did in part 4. I'll just kind of ramble a little bit as I actually showcase and review his cards, as he has so many of them. And he has very close to complete sets, complete holo sets. Matter of fact, I really didn't do a full count when I actually did his paperwork and everything else. He may, in fact, have full sets here, and I just haven't realized it. Lots of really cool stuff here. The English stuff is always something I've been big on. Mint 9s here. Dark Charizard, Dark Blastoise, some of the greats from Rocket, the Dark Dragonite. Excellent artwork on these. And again, really big nostalgia boost for me. So, I know I was talking about it a little bit in the last part, just kind of talking about the work that I do, and didn't mean to get too personal. I hope that doesn't bore anybody, because the way I like to kind of do things, I like to keep work and play as separate as humanly possible, and for me that's it's kind of, the two have kind of collided. They've hit a point in time in my life where they've kind of collided to the point that they kind of interfere with each other, and that's not cool. So I do talk about it a little bit more than I used to. Because typically, when you tell people you work in a grocery store, it's actually quite boring. They're like, well, what do you do? I'm like, well, I deal with crazy people and I put things on shelves. That's kind of what I do. I know that doesn't sound very glamorous, and trust me, it's not. But it is crazy labor intensive. You would not think it is as crazy labor intensive as it is, but it is. So that's something that kind of I did not realize going in, is once I would kind of join the rank and file of the grocery industry, that would literally become my life. I would literally, live in a building for 12 plus hours a day sometimes. Once in a while you have a good day and you leave at the 10-hour mark. That's basically how it is. And we don't take breaks. At least I don't. Management does not. Occasionally I might go sit down in the office and write my schedule for the week coming up, but that's about all I would do. So yeah, that's kind of life currently. So it's crappy, for lack of a better term, and I don't mean to sound like I'm complaining by any means. I'm happy to be able to pay my bills. Matter of fact, I just paid off a student loan a couple months ago, which is huge for me. 27, and I graduated from college 5 years ago, and I just paid that off. It wasn't a big loan either, so it was kind of to the point where it was like, oh man, I really want to do a little more than what I'm doing. Now that I have some financial freedom from that, but we'll see. We'll see as we go. And even though I'm kind of rambling about it now, I will post a video later about me, my kind of future goals here. I want to come back to YouTube full time. I got lucky. I finally caught a week of vacation. My company has owed me vacation for months, and I have not been able to take it for a variety of reasons. There's like literally a new reason every week as far as to why I'm needed. But good news is, I'm kind of refreshed. I'm actually doing this right before I go into work, and I've had a whole week to literally just rest and recover. Gem Mint 10, by the way. Beautiful Ryoku. A whole week to rest and recover, which is something I desperately needed. So I am very happy to be going into a new store. It's kind of a fresh start for me. I did mention it briefly in a video that I did get transferred out of the store that I was in. That was crazy and hectic and everything else, but I will have more information regarding that as I go. So, alright, new topic. Let's talk about some Pokemon cards. My freaking love and my passion, and the thing I feel terrible for neglecting half the time. It's been, gosh, I actually sat there and counted. I think it's been like 24, 30 months since I bought a Pokemon card. Like, it's been a long time. And I mean like a booster pack even, not necessarily something PSA graded. Those are much more expensive. Those are more luxury good, if you will. Stuff I have to worry about. like kind of plan around financially. I mean, so those I have not that I have not done in a while. So, which is unfortunate because you in order to make the amount of sacrifice you do, especially you have to cut stuff that you love. Don't get me wrong, you got to work before you can go to play. But when there is absolutely no play whatsoever, it just becomes stressful and daunting and overwhelming amongst many other things. Lots of really great Versus Series cards here, by the way. Alright, we're talking about Pokemon, right? That's where I was going, correct? So anyway, I know I mentioned just a little bit ago Pokemon Go. I'm sure a number of you guys out there watching this do in fact play. I play myself. It's kind of odd because I don't like go out and like visit places per se, because typically I'm hung up at work. But once in a while, if I'm at work, I'll actually just open the phone and check just kind of check what's going on. See if any spawns come by. Apparently my store has a decent amount of cellular activity in it, so I'll get spawns fairly frequently, and that's basically how I leveled up. Caught a whole bunch of Pidgey, Caterpie, and Weedles over the past, since the game came out, essentially. Beautiful Gold Star Mewtwo. PSA 10. Gotta love it. So I've been having a tremendous amount of fun with that. I know at one point my girlfriend looked at me and said, we need to go out as a couple because we had not done that in forever. So we went out and we actually drove through the park. It was dark, but a ton of Pokestops. Had a lot of fun spinning those. Filled up my bag. Really, really enjoyed it. So that game is incredibly relaxing. It really helps take the edge off, take stress off, amongst other things, which is good for me, especially when you live in a high-stress environment. So that's really nice to kind of get away from it all and just kind of sit back, reflect on your childhood, because it's all Gen 1 for me. It's all Pokemon I am familiar with. So it's been just a blast. I would love to get more caught up on it and understand more of the game mechanics and things of that nature. Part of what brought me back into Pokemon, and I know I've mentioned this, multiple times in videos, my brother played in a large tournament years ago, 2010 Journey Across America, was this Uber tournament. I just so happened to look, I think it was today actually, I had a little bit of time to relax and saw that the 2016 tournament for this year is actually, they're allowing Uber class Pokemon, which is what they did in 2010. So that's really cool. Do I have that right? Is 2010 when he competed? That must be right. Because I noticed somebody stated that was the first time they allowed Uber class Pokemon since about 2010. So that's really, really, really cool. You know what? Journey Across America might have been earlier than that even. I think I was still in high school, which was a good, 10 years ago. So it might have been 2007 even. So when you get old, the years kind of become mixed. You really don't know. Really don't know from year to year what has happened. So that's unfortunate. I'm only 27. I'm already having issues figuring out what year things occurred in my own lifetime, in my own lifespan. But yeah, so that was kind of a cool thing. I'd love to get back into that. I'd love to do competitive battling. Again, there are a lot of things I'd really love to do with Pokemon. I have ADD myself, like actually diagnosed. I'm not just saying it. So my interests tend to peak everywhere. I get excited about everything pretty quickly, and then I hyper-focus on it. I tell you what, when I sit here and I do these PSA cards, I sit here for like 10 plus hours and do PSA cards because I love it, and I love just the artwork, and I love the people who I get to communicate with, and I love looking at just what people collect, how it's the encapsulation process is done, how the grading process is done. I can tell you a whole hell of a lot about PSA, how they work. There are a lot of misconceptions about them. For example, probably the most obvious one I see all the time is, well, my card did not receive a good grade because the grader that day was having a bad day and he graded everything low. PSA actually doesn't have a single grader. It goes through a minimum of 2 graders, and they both are blind. They don't know what the other guy has graded the card. They both have to come to the same conclusion on the card. Only in the event that both of those guys differ does a third person come in and break the tie? And that third person typically has more experience than the first two. It's actually very, I would argue that's the only real flaw with PSA. That's the only time you'll actually have a single grader. But hey, it's a system and it seems to work. Each card that comes through will see a minimum of 2 experts, and in some cases it will see a third expert. So that's why you sometimes see cards come back in for regrades, because they think they might have picked up that third guy who maybe doesn't have the same opinion as the actual user who submitted. But that's kind of how it is. So, all right, we're finishing up this particular round. We've been kind of thumbing through Skyridge here. Big thanks to Britt who submitted all these cards. I know, unfortunately, I feel like any commentary I would have had on the actual specific cards artwork for each series as we went through would have been pretty monotone and bland, as it's literally like a whole series of cards that are fairly identical in terms of artwork. So I hope you don't mind me kind of monologuing over it a little bit, just kind of sitting here talking into a camera and just kind of letting you guys know what's up, my thoughts and opinions on things and life in general. So again, big thanks. 160 cards. Yeah, it's such an amazing collection. I cannot wait to ship it back to him. Actually, we'll end it on these 2 beautiful Kabutops, both 110, 19. Some really awesome cards. And we'll end it right there. I do have another round to post for you guys. I'll be doing that a little bit later. I'm not sure as far as to when exactly, as I am going back into work fairly soon here. But hopefully I'll catch a couple days off, and I'll ramp right back up, and we'll get cards rolling right back out again. Feel free to reach out to me, contact me, Facebook, YouTube, Skype. I've been pretty good about my Skype as of late, but I need to do a little more on the Facebook, YouTube side of things. So just stay patient. I'm around. I'm just very busy, and I'll have hopefully more updates in the immediate future. And we'll just kind of go from there, and I'll let you guys know what's going on. So thanks again, tons, guys. This community has always been awesome for me. It's been awesome to me. It's done a lot for me. I've always appreciated that. I've appreciated your viewership, and your just kind of continuing to support me is basically what it rolls down to, and I really appreciate that. So thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I will have more uploads in the future.